What's up, YouTube?
Tellarknight here, bringing you guys a Tellarknight deck profile for the August 2016 ban list. Sorry guys, haven't been posted in a while, just my living conditions and my camera setup hasn't been the best. Camera has been, bad, but bringing you guys deck profile because I've got it all set up now. I've got everything, so now I'll be bringing you guys deck profiles of stuff that have come out, Guardians, my friend's Frightfur, stuff like that. Starting with Tellarknights, because this was the last deck I promised I'd bring you. So, let's just get straight into it. Monster Arm's pretty standard. 3 Deneb, 3 Altair, 3 Unicalhai, 2 Vega, and most people run Rigel, but I don't, because it does send the monster to the graveyard at the end of the turn, but I don't want that. So instead I run 1 Cirrus because it shuffles. So if you end up going Vega, Altair, Deneb, and getting a Triviera on field, you get this back on the field with 5 Tellarknights in grave. You can just shuffle them all back and repeat that step. So this just shuffles everything, well, 5 Tellarknight monsters from your graveyard, shuffle all 5 into deck and then draw. So you can shuffle 5 Tellarknight XZs back into the extra deck and get a free draw off this. This card is good, but this is all the Tellarknights I run until the new Tellarknight Vatlamaius comes out, and then I'll bring you guys a dark version. But for now, just basic Tellarknights. Now, hand traps, 2 Honest, 2 Maxi, because Maxi, draw power, Honest, protection. On the weekend, I was at a tournament. I was going up against, what was I going up against? Burning Abyss. So I had a Deneb in attack on field, and everything else was in defense with a Flying Sea put on my board. So I had Deneb in attack, he had Dante, but I had Call Hornet Honest back and used its effect to add it back to hand. So I had a dead call. So I ended up drawing 2 Honest, in my opening hand, drew 2 Honest. Used 1 to get rid of something, but I ended up having 2 back in hand, so then I could just drop and win because he was only on like 500 or something. I ended up beating him though, which is pretty good. Now for spells, I only run 6. I run 1 Skybridge. I don't need 2. I might be cutting or bumping this up depending, because at times I want to see this as quickly as possible just so I can make my plays. Then at other times late game I see this, I'm like, oh, I don't need this right now. So this can be good and bad at times. I might just cut it. But for now it's just in because it does work. Then I run 2 Twin Twister, just different from the last version because I ended up getting these a week or 2 after I made the video. So Twin Twister, 1 Rotor, 1 Regeki, and 1 Instant Fusion. So these just, with the traps, you will understand why I run 6 spells, because the spells are just for recovery when you need the recovery. Now for traps, I run, so for 3 ops, trap-wise, I run 3 Alpha, single-handedly one of the best trap cards in the Tellarknight deck. So basically, when your opponent activates a spell, trap, or monster effect, so if they activate the effect of spell, trap, or monster, you can just send a Tellarknight monster you control to the grave, send it, not destroy it, negate and destroy the activation of that spell, trap, or monster that you're negating, and then you get a +1 from a draw. You will also get a plus off if you send Trivier or Deltaros, because you'll activate their effects when they're sent. Or if you've got Call Hornet State, you just bring back the monster you summon and activate another Alpha if you have it. So 3 Alpha because I like it. I then run 3 of these. So I'll show you these close to the end, but as a hint, these are what make the deck tick. So this, basically, I don't like, so your only clue to knowing what it is I don't like side decking this. I always want it in my main deck. So I'll just leave these up to here. Then 3 Call, because you need Graveyard Revival. Also, you can recycle it back to Trivier. And 3 Mirror Force. You could put in a Storming, Drowning, whatever you want, but I just like the 3 Mirror Force. No one expects it. They expect a Storming or a Drowning, so they hold off until they can attack until they can attack into a monster, because then drowning's dead, and they, I don't know, but if they attack directly, they'd expect a drowning, so they try to attack into a monster, and then you mirror force them because they expect drowning quite a bit. Then two Elves, two Oasis, two Poor Man's Solemn Strike, or Grand Horn, two Oasis because it's another call Haunted, and two Grand Horn because I'm too poor to have Solemn Strike. Then one Elves, one Bottomless, one Time Space, one Wonder Exi, and one Vanities, because refleet your targets, Exi during your opponent's turn, and stop your opponent from special summoning when you have an established board. So these are just one-ofs that are targets for you to side out. These are probably the ones you want to side out, as well as maybe a Grand Horn and an Oasis when you're siding. But it's your choice. This deck is just a guideline. And then your three here, three anti-spell. That's the reason why I only run three spell cards. So three anti-spell, just if you go up against pendulums, they don't expect you to main deck this. So they expect you to side it in, but first opening hand, you see this, you want to set this, your opponent's turn, anti-spell, and then they can't pendulum or anything, so they're screwed over once you have these. And I don't like side decking them, as I said. Then I'll go side deck. So one Chaos Hunter and one Lancia, because I don't have Imperial Iron Walls. One Folk King, which I might take out because Monarchs aren't a thing, but they do go well against the Magispector stuff. Then one Flying Sea, which I might bump up to 2 when I take out Folk King, because you're going to need this. One Prohibition and the other Twin Twister. Prohibition does help. You open this up against Cosmo and say Cosmo Tin Can. They can't use Tin Can. I've got to get the better version of this, but they can't use Tin Can. So cards with that name and their effects cannot be used. So they can't summon it. They can't activate its effects. So Prohibition does help against some. So if you go Dante, so if you open Prohibition first and you say Dante, Traveler, Burning Abyss, you gotta say full name. They can't summon Dante. You win against Burning Abyss. You win. So then one Bad Aim, two Fairy Wind against Pendulum and DDD matchups, two Ceasefire against Ghost Trick matchups. I do verse a few Ghost Tricks in Australia here, but the two Ceasefire are just needed because it does burn your opponent like Fairy Wind. One Goslin match because they don't have the other version. And then for the Pendulum matchup, two Pendulum Hole and one Unwavering Bond because I don't have a third Pendulum Hole. So that's side. Side deck is always up to personal preference, as is the deck. You can change it up as you want, but it's just a guideline. So the one Norton for the instant fusion, Tsukiyomi for draw power. You can make this because it needs light monsters, not beast warriors. Summon this in defense. Set 2 spells if you drew 3 monsters, and it was a Vega, summon the other Tellarknight you have in your hand. Set your traps, detach, send the other card in your hand, draw 2, so you get a plus. So this does help. Then I run 2 Constellar Diamonds because I go up against the Lord Dark. And when Vetlamaios comes out, this will be debatable whether it stays at 2 or goes down to 1 to make space, because if you get this out with Vetlamaios makes every other monster on the field dark. So if you're up against Dynamists, just as an example, and they activate an effect, you can just detach, negate, and destroy, and just keep going, because they're all dark. Then 2 Deltaros, because Pops can't activate anything when you summon. So if you go Deltaros, and they've got, like, they have a Dime Space or a Solemn Strike or something, you go normal Vega, summon alter effect, special Deneb. They can't do anything on those summons. They can't activate anything because of Deltaros. So if you end up going Deltaros, right, and then you activate its effect or get any other effects off after his summon, and they don't do anything, they've screwed themselves over, because they can't activate anything for other summons. So you summon Trivier, bounce everything back, they can't activate anything, which is really good. Then 1 Castel and 1 Dark Rebellion, because just your staple level 4, rank 4s. Then probably best card in, the best XZ monster in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or, not all of them, maybe top 5, but Trivier. 3 Tellarknight monsters to use, or just put it on top of Vatlamyus when it comes out, and it returns every single card on the field other than himself back to hand. Recycles Call of Hornets, puts your opponent's boss monsters back in the hand. So, and then you can just detach and send 1 random card from the hand to grave. Not discard, send. So it does have that thing. Also, if it has an exile material and sent to grave, you can special summon any Tellarknight monster from your graveyard. So there is that. Only thing is, you can't special summon any other monsters the turn you summon him. So if you summon a Norden or a Castell the turn you summon, you can't summon Trivier that turn. Yeah, the turn you exile summon this card, you cannot special summon monsters except Tellarknight. So you gotta make you gotta make Trivier first. Then 1 Cowboy, 1 Dweller, 1 Rongom Naiad, and 1 Rafflesia. Normally I make Rafflesia first turn if possible, if I can't make anything else. Cowboy for game, Dweller against Burning Abyss, and Rongom Naiad just to, like, if I can show off and get 5 monsters on the field, I want to make Rongom Naiad because I can. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go check out Shadow Flames. Go check out Shadow Flame and Jack of Luck's channel. Because they do some good stuff. Shadow Flame hasn't been on for a while, so there's that. And Jack of Luck is where he puts up PS4 stuff like Star Wars Battlefront, Fallout 4. Go check him out. I do videos with him as well. So go check him out. But yeah, like and subscribe. Comment if there's anything wrong with the deck. If you want to know anything about the deck. Comment for any other deck profiles you want to see. I am poor, so keep that in mind. But yeah, that's Heroic Master signing out.